Oh, how the turntables turn.
I don't know what you're talking about. We already proved that anyone can beat Brady. Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to this Week 6 recap of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by the new lease on life, Trajan.
Oh my goodness. We got a W. We ate that W.
Oh, gee. Hey, he's not their quarterback ananymore. But
That's true.
but
That's
who
very
is
true.
but who is their quarterback is none other than Tom Brady. And
The goat
boy,
himself.
boy, oh boy, it's always got to feel good when you're able to take care of business against a surefire future Hall of Famer, even at home too.
Oh yeah. No, and with most of our defense out.
That's right. That is
A
right.
lot of our star power out.
For those who might not know what we're talking about, here you are. The final score: the Pittsburgh Steelers at home take care of business against the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I know you've been dying to talk about it since Sunday. So let them have it, Trajan. What are your thoughts from this exciting matchup?
All right. So we went in. I did not watch this game. I was at my wife's grandparents eating dinner. One of our cousins was giving me a little update there. I was trying not to build up too much hope. I was like, Tom Brady's going to find a way to win this one, but he didn't. He did not. So Kenny Pickett started out the first half there. He would leave. I think it was early third quarter, but I can't remember on that point due to a concussion. He didn't have crazy stats. He wasn't playing amazing. I mean, he still was very efficient. 11 for 18, only 67 yards, and one touchdown there, 87 rating on his QB. But Mitchell Trubisky came in and he played like he had nothing to lose. It wasn't crazy numbers, yards, but he was 9 for 12. Converted very crucial third down situations, third and long, to Chase Claypool. And speaking of Chase, he had himself a game. He came in saying he's like the third best wide receiver in the league at the beginning of the year, and keeps on doing games like that, he might be.
Absolutely.
7 receptions, 96 yards, 1 TD. Like I said, a lot of conversions on that last drive to keep it out of the hands of Tom Brady and ice the game. Some amazing catches, so big game for him. Connor Hayward, who's been absent this whole year, our draft pick, who is the other Hayward, the defensive Hayward's brother. So he went out. Got a huge catch. His long was a 45-yard catch. He had 2 receptions on the day for 49 yards, but one coming from that 45 yards.
It was a good
So,
day. It was a good day for both Haywards. What you just mentioned, and then Cam Hayward with the sack and tackle for loss, even.
oh yeah. So I mean, it's great. We got the win. Obviously, I'd like us to see put more points up, put more yards up. But like I said, the secondary was banged up. A lot of there was a few of them that were making their first start.
It
A
would
lot
have
of
been
rejection.
it would have been
Or
really interesting to see what your reaction would have been seeing Pickett go down and then Trubisky coming back on the field, because I can only imagine every fan in that stadium going, "Oh God."
yeah, I actually did, because at that moment I stepped outside on the front porch and I'm talking with them, and I looked at the deal and it said Trubisky is now in at quarterback. I'm like, what? It's like, great, we had this one. No, I mean, he did what was needed, and I think the beginning of the year he was just trying not to lose his job. He already lost his job as a starter, so I mean, what do you got to lose? Just go out there, throw the ball around, make some plays. So So yeah, no, it was good to see that. It was good to see that our defense, especially our secondary, we held Tom Brady to 244 yards, I think it was. 243 yards, I should say.
Wow.
So, I mean, usually Tom Brady games, he's just been known to kill us. He picks our defense apart. He should have picked this defense apart. These were all backups. Minka was not on the field. Levi Wallace was not on the field. Witherspoon was not on the field. I mean, you name all the guys that have stepped up for us were not on the field, and just a bunch of no names trying to make a name for themselves, earn a spot on the team, stepped it up. So, pretty proud of them.
What better way to step up, make a name for yourself than against a future Hall of Fame quarterback? Absolutely, that was also the case for a good chunk of our defense too. A lot of no names, a lot of younger guys, rookies trying to make a name for themselves too, and unfortunately it had to come into one of the biggest games of the regular season, and this brings us to Trajan's favorite part of this episode. Welcome to this week's edition of I Don't Want to Talk About It. And truth be told, I don't really mind talking about it, honestly, because let's look at the bottom line. If you are a player or a coach for the Buffalo Bills, after what happened last year, if this isn't double circled, exclamation points, with like lightning bolts and just all the graffiti in the world on this date on the calendar, then you really aren't buying into the team. You really aren't a Bills personnel or even a Bills fan. Like, I can remember 2019 when my dad and I flew out to Gillette Stadium and watched the Chiefs play against the Patriots. That AFC Championship game was still very fresh in our minds, how that ended. So, and you can only imagine how the Bills themselves, like all the players from last year, felt going back to the stadium after what happened to them last year. And for those not in the know, obviously the final score, the Buffalo Bills come into Arrowhead and take down the Chiefs by a final score of 24-20. And I was there to witness that game. And here's the deal. I brought this up last year. Remember when I took Skate 3 Tommy to the Giants game?
Yeah.
And we won that game. But I told him I didn't have that warm, fuzzy feeling coming out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
I still felt worse walking out of that stadium that game than I did this game.
Okay.
But here's the deal. Bottom line, losing sucks. I think we can agree with that. No one enjoys losing.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you were coming into this game expecting 100% Chiefs to win, then you don't know Josh Allen and you don't know the Buffalo Bills. Because holy smokes, that was... even with the mistakes Josh Allen made at the beginning, even with our defense, our young defense that's missing key pieces, making not one but two stops on fourth down, that was just awesome to see. Even through all that, Josh Allen still had the poise to go down the field in the fourth quarter and get the game-winning touchdown to Dawson Knox, and, my hat's off to him. That's exactly what you want your QB1 to be able to do in clutch situations like that. And, Mahomes, I won't say if I have him in a 2-minute drill that I would want anyone else running my offense. Is he going to do it every single time? No, he's not. It would have been great if he did this time, but you know what? He tried to force the ball somewhere, and it was picked off at the end, and that was that. He did the same thing with the first interception. He tried to force it to MVS into double coverage and turned into an interception. He left points on the field. Shout out to Harrison Butker for a week after Matt Wright makes his debut at Arrowhead Stadium and sets the franchise record for longest made field goal. Not even a week after, Butker's like, hell no. You ain't doing that to me. And you know what's funny? I was in the bathroom when that happened.
Ah, yeah.
Have I learned nothing? 13 seconds, 12 seconds, it doesn't matter. I still get down the field. Here's the deal. I knew we were getting the ball back at halftime. So I wouldn't have been surprised if we played conservative, took a knee. Plus, I've been holding it for a while, so I was like, I gotta go right now.
Yeah,
but I came back and I was like, oh, it's 10-10. Huh? How'd that happen? And then they showed the replay. I'm like, oh wow, that's a record. Wow,
Yeah.
I freaking missed the record kick. What's my problem? But you know what? Hey, as I said, bottom line, Chiefs Bills. It's a rivalry, man. It's going to be a rivalry for many years to come. Even if either of these quarterbacks left teams, it's going to be, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. We're going to be talking about this rivalry probably 20 years down the line still, I think. Just the talent that these quarterbacks have. But hey, you can't win them all, and you know what? This happened last year. The Bills won the regular season, but the Chiefs won the one that mattered most. And who knows? They may not even meet in the playoffs this year. You never know. But yep, final score: Bills take down Chiefs 24-20. Yep, hats off to the Bills once again. Chiefs sitting at 4-2, still at the top of the AFC West, so not too bad there. Buffalo Bills, obviously sitting pretty, probably the number one seed overall in the AFC, and that could very well be the case here at the end of the year. We will check again in a couple weeks and see what we think of them as still Super Bowl contenders when we do our updated tier makers. But I guess I've done enough yammering. I shall allow you to give your thoughts on this matchup.
So as soon as we won our game, my mind went instantly, oh God, I hope the Chiefs lose this. Just so I could be in this situation.
We here at the Trajan Temple Sportcast always appreciate honesty to the fullest degree.
Yep, and so I would like to take you back to 4:07 in the fourth quarter. You had a 79.3% chance of winning, according to ESPN. You stop them on 3rd and 1. You go to 4th and 1. You couldn't stop them. And from there, it just started going down. How high were you right at that 20-17 point with that 79% probability of winning?
Well, to be fair, it's better than 97.3%. And they're right, Falcons fans. You know, that reminded me, actually. We had a fan sitting next to me. He was a Falcons fan.
Really?
But he was, I don't know why. I think he was just trying to be a troll, but he was cheering everything that the Bills were doing. And the funniest part was, he had a few drinks and everything too. So he goes by in front of me to go down the stairs and go to the bathroom. Megan and I, we're like seats 1 and 2, so we're like right next to the stairs. So so he goes down, and I see him miss the first step, but he catches himself. But immediately I'm thinking, oh boy, this ain't gonna be good. And he takes like 2 or 3 more steps and all the way down to where the top of the tunnel is, before you go around and go to the concourse. And all of us were like, uh-oh. But he got back to his feet. He went to the bathroom, and when he came back up the stairs, and here's the deal. I said, it's like, brother, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, man, somebody tripped me. I was like, yeah, okay. Because I watched, after I saw him slip the first time, I was watching him the whole time as he's going downstairs. And you could just tell, as soon as he got his feet underneath him too, it's like, this is not going to end well. And sure enough, like 2 or 3 more steps, just everything went out from underneath him. So he said someone tripped him. I was like, yeah, sure, bud. But no, it was. What can you say? It was a whole different. I said this before we started recording too. It's not like the Colts game at all. The Colts game was just major disappointing performances on all sides. You know,
No.
you can't really fault one scheme or anything like that on the team. You know, all three phases made great plays, and all three phases, slipped up. I mean, you can't expect perfection every single time, especially against the Bills. That's a tough team to be perfect against.
Yeah, I mean, it is just amazing that with the refs, you lost that game.
Oh boy!
Incredible there.
Oh boy! We're still on that one, huh? I guess to be fair, with the refs, Tom Brady also lost. So there we go. Maybe that's
True. Maybe you can overcome it.
Well, on to something else that involves losing that has no refs involved whatsoever. It's time for this week's locks, upsets, and high rollers. And as you can see by the updated scoreboard here, much to Trajan's shame and disappointment, ba-bam! I have gained yet another point. It was my lock last week of Cincinnati over New Orleans came through for me 7-1. I was maybe a little too confident in Carolina taking down the Rams, and Dallas and Philly. I promise, folks, I'm giving up on Philly this week as a high roller. But
Well, this is my week, so you have to.
I kind of have to, exactly. It's kind of proxy at this point. But starting off with our locks this week, I've got the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns. I think the Ravens are going to start finding a rhythm here too. And Cleveland, hey, it could be one of those any given Sunday deals. But I think Baltimore is, just a little bit more well-oiled than the Browns right now.
Well, so that is a bold call. I think Cleveland might be better in this game, but my lock of the week, which isn't saying much, but my lock of the week is Tampa Bay over Carolina. I can't be risky anymore. I'm choosing Tom Brady off of a loss to go in and handle business versus Carolina.
Against a team like the Panthers, that's almost certainly a safe bet right now, especially since Robbie Anderson is no longer a member of the Carolina Panthers, one of the top wide receivers on that squad. Moving on to the upsets, and I'm really hoping for this one, especially if Kansas City can take care of business against San Francisco. I've got the Seattle Seahawks over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers seem to have Satan's luck in some of these instances. I mean, you go back to 2 weeks ago against the Cleveland Browns. A weird decision by Brandon Staley to go for it on 4th and 2. The Browns get the ball back. They got a chance to win with the field goal, and is it Cam York or Caden York or whatever his name is, misses wide to the right, and they get away with that one. And then this week, man, that gave the Colts-Denver game a run for its money. The Chargers in overtime take down the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. Man, the Chargers just aren't really living up to the hype as much as everyone kind of put them up to be here. They're really keeping opponents in the game when they really shouldn't have to. But hey, they can still get their footing. They can still make a statement here, and Seattle would be a good team to do so. But I'd love to see Seattle take care of business.
Oh yeah, no, I would like to see that as well. I'm not seeing it, but it is possible. They've been scoring some points. My upset of the week. I keep on putting my faith in them. They keep on hurting me, but I think we're going with them again. It is going to be Detroit over Dallas at Dallas. At Dallas. So that's a huge upset. I think all of America would win with that upset pick, except for Dallas fans. So I think that's a good one.
The Dallas finally showed a chink in the armor, even with Cooper Rush at quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles still undefeated, still the only remaining undefeated team, much like me in fantasy. No, I like that. Detroit, even with with the shutout to New England, they are still the third highest scoring team in the league, which is why I'm gonna stay on the Detroit-Dallas game. My high roller this week, Detroit and Dallas. I think that's gonna be a high-flying matchup there too. Cooper Rush versus Jared Goff, the marquee QB matchup we've been waiting for. Actually, I think it's been teased that Dak Prescott is starting to. He might
be starting.
He might be starting, so we'll keep tabs on that as the week goes on, and definitely be interested to seeing that. But I've got Detroit Dallas as my high roller this week.
All right. So I too. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm going with a team that has been scoring some points these last few weeks. Atlanta. They've been looking pretty good, at least offensively. They've been putting up some points. And I believe going up against Cincy there, Cincinnati is more of an offensive-focused team. They haven't really been stopping people there. I think this one has the potential to be a high-scoring game. That's a noon game on Sunday, so we'll see.
Could very well be. Here's an interesting question for you. If Atlanta, not saying they may have to make the playoffs, but if Atlanta has a respectable season this year, are we ready to name Marcus Mariota Comeback Player of the Year?
I don't know on that. He would have to put up some pretty amazing numbers.
Probably so.
But
the Falcons are winning games, though.
They are winning games.
They're winning games.
Mean, it's not pretty, but he's winning games. I mean, right now, with his stats, though, he's over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I'm not quite ready to say that yet, but if he just balls out the rest of the year, that'd be pretty awesome.
It would be crazy, because what was the how many wins was the Falcons predicted in the USA Today? Was it 2?
Yeah, I think something.
And they've already doubled it, right? They've got 4 wins now.
3
wins. 3 wins
right now.
Gotcha. It came really close. That's right. They came really close against
Brady.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah, they should have. They really should have had that one.
They got screwed out of roughing the passer.
Bad roughing the passer call, but oh man.
Oh.
All right. Well, that is our show this week. Obviously, as I mentioned, Kansas City will be going on the road to Levi Stadium against the San Francisco 49ers, a rematch of Super Bowl 54, the same 2 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes versus Jimmy Garoppolo again. That one will be a 3:30 game. And then we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are just they're just gonna take it easy this week. Nothing too special, nothing too tough.
Yes, we will be facing Miami with Tua back, and we also will be facing that Hill-led receiving corps. So Hill and Waddle, that's going to be a tough task there. I really hope Minka's back in because we will need him, and I imagine he wants to play in this game.
I was getting ready to ask any word on Minka Fitzpatrick yet? Still questionable.
We will see on that. He's day to day. So I imagine with this game here that he wants to be in since he got traded from them to the Steelers. He's going to want to go out there and win. But Sunday night, most likely going to be Trubisky. I can't see them rushing a concussion to get Pickett back in there. So we'll see.
We shall see. And we shall see you all next week for our Week 7 recaps. And feel free to leave a comment below. Who's your lock? Who's your upset? And who's your high roller this week? Who you like? Who you don't like? We want to hear from you. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends. And we will see you all in the next episode.